Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of the Season 5 premiere of The 100 on the CW, which is Episode 1, obviously, of Season 5, called Eden. So yeah, The 100 is back, and very happy to be getting back to it. Because I have been reviewing The 100 episode ever since Season 3. And I haven't missed one since then, so I'm planning on keeping that up this year. I'm planning on reviewing each episode this season. And yeah, this season's off to a very promising start for sure. I especially enjoyed the first kind of like 25, sort of like half an hour of the episode. Because we're catching up with, Clark, we know it's been, like 5 to almost, 7 years in the present time. But we see how Clark survived initially when she was left on the Earth, with the Prime Fire thing going on. We see the complete, fallout, like, wasteland of that. That was one of my other favorite things about this episode, that the environment after it was, just, like, scorched or with the radiation or whatever it was. It reminds me a lot of Fallout, the environment. So that is really cool. I just like just how, dead it is and isolated, and it had a really, really good, like, post-apocalyptic, feel to it. So I enjoyed that. First we see Clark a little over a month or two, after everything. And I honestly thought, like, the Clark-centric solo stuff was the best part of the episode. Because, with Lexa gone, Clark is, usually my favorite character on the show. So I sort of like that more character-focused, kind of character-driven part of it. And Eliza Taylor really carried it nicely, seeing little things she did to survive. Luck with the, the rain and stuff like that, her finding one of the vehicles. And she, of course, we know this from the trailer, she ends up finding a patch of land, a valley that apparently it just jumped over, so it's all still kind of lush and green, which yeah, it's kind of convenient, but can't gotta let those things go. She manages to get there. At one point she was pretty suicidal at a very low point right before she found that area. And again, Eliza Taylor did a really nice job, performance-wise in this episode. And, her just, kind of yelling out about everything she's lost, I thought was a very kind of real moment, and real and raw moment for her. And when she gets into this, she ends up coming across this girl. Of course, she still knows the language. She appears to be some kind of like blood as well. And then, she ends up by doing a sketch of her, and the girl comes across it, and then we skip ahead 5 years or whatever. And, we see that Clark's basically taking care of her like a daughter, really. I know some people worried about that. They thought somehow Clark already had a daughter with someone in the 5 years, but no, it's a girl she's basically just taken under her wing, and is, looking after, which I think is still a really nice dynamic and can still be the same thing without, her actually being the mother. So, I enjoyed that part of it, although I wish we would have seen more of, kind of their bonding, because we skip ahead and, they're all, completely great with each other. They're really on point with how they set things up and stuff like that. So I would have liked a little bit more scenes between them when they when they kind of got to trust each other a little bit more, before that time. I think that would have provided some good moments too, but still, I like the dynamic. And then we have Ivana Malesevic's character arriving. Of course, Ivana Malesevic, if you don't know her by name, she's the woman who landed, with a prison ship. We don't know if they're like guards or they're prisoners themselves that have taken over or what. But, I really like Ivana Malesevic being on the show. She did Gotham recently, but I more so know her from Banshee. She is one of the main characters on that, fantastic show. She's a great actress, and I think she's a great addition to this. I did a video, a few months ago on her being casted. So I think her and Clark should share some really good scenes together. It appears a lot of the group that she's with are, kind of, murderous, so, we'll see how she is. Although I have read that she's supposed to be a pretty rough antagonist for Clark this season, but, we'll see how it goes. I like the, kind of the action we got with the guys trying to get to the girl. Clark showing up and picking off one of them and, almost choking one of them out, but then, of course, the girl having to, shoot one of them anyway. And Clark making a pretty morally gray decision, with the guy who actually said, oh, he can't just shoot a, little girl, man. But Clark ends up killing him anyway. There are no good guys, right? So, again, that's, pretty realistic to the world they're in, though. So, you can't really blame Clark, necessarily. So, yeah, that's it for, the Earthbound stuff, but we still have, of course, Bellamy and the others, in space, and they've been able to use the supplies they have on the ship for years now. And, here and there, Raven's still trying to get communications to the ground or find a way to, it's good to go back to the ground or find a way there. Murphy has pretty much shut himself off, feeling, part of him feeling inadequate, or he has some mental issues, kind of letting himself prosper, I guess. So that was pretty good. We do know that Bellamy and Echo are now in a relationship, which I'm sure is pissing off a lot of fans. Everyone wants Bellark, that's all they talk about. And I'm sure they'll probably go there at some point, but I don't really think it's not necessarily needed. And actually, I've been a big fan of Echo, actually. I support her a lot, last season, even against Octavia. I still do. Because I don't really buy Octavia's whole, kind of Rambo act, I don't know. She's been trained for a while now, and she's had to live through a lot. But just how she won, the title last season, basically just sneaking around, or hiding, it didn't really build her up the way they wanted to. But now I guess she's this, this fierce, kind of deadly ruler in the bunker. So I'm sure she's a little bit more hardcore at this point, but... so I don't actually mind Bellamy and Echo's relationship. Echo worries about Octavia still not accepting her when they eventually do get back to the ground. Bellamy thinks she'll be forgiven. I don't know about Octavia at this state, but Tassia Talis Echo is now a series regular, so I'm sure she'll at least be through the season. I hope further. We'll see. And again, it's one of those things where I wish we would have seen more scenes in the ship over the years. Because apparently it took Bellamy 3 years to forgive Echo, but then they hooked up. So I would have liked some scenes actually showing the progression of that. I think it would have felt a little bit more natural, maybe. But at the same time, we've always seen that Bellamy and Echo have had some kind of connection ever since he found her, locked in Mount Weather. So, it's not the most, unorganic thing in the world either. So I'm fine with it. But, yeah, so that's basically it for the episode. We also have a really good scene with Clark a little bit earlier on when she's going through some of the stuff. She finds, Jasper's goggles and everything, thinking maybe almost he had the right idea when she's at the really low point. So that was pretty good as well. We don't see much of anyone else. We just get that last shot of Octavia at the end. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But overall, like I said, I think the season's off to a very, very, very promising start. I'm giving it between a 9, 9.2 out of 10, somewhere in there. Would have liked it to almost have stayed more character driven, would have liked a few more scenes showing the progression of certain relationships. But other than that, I think it was a very good episode, and I think season 5 may turn to a really good season yet again. So yeah, let me know you guys' thought. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.